We're back from NXL Vegas, which we drive to every year. We're on the road for about 2 weeks. Settled in between editing photos and other things, I can get back to the studio and sew. Logan left his pants at the rental house in Vegas. They are so messed up, Tom said he was discarding them. The fly is completely falling apart. Really, every inch of these pants needs to be restitched or reinforced. I clip every loose thread I can find and start pinning the seams back together. Luckily, very little of the fabric is actually torn. The seams just need to be resewn. So these pants can definitely be rescued. I'm using a basic home sewing machine, which is not ideal for such a heavy-duty project as this, but it's what I got. The machine struggles to power through all those seams and needs a lot of coercion. I barely managed to lock the stitches. Both of the pocket welts on the front are completely blown out and need to be sewn back together. Like most of the seams, it requires 2 rows of stitching with very little room for manipulation. But first, I have to hand sew the pocket lining before I can top stitch the outside. First pocket is done. Looks pretty good. Zipper is working well. Here's what it used to look like. Now I know why I have no shots of Logan clearing his barrel. There's no way a swab could stay in there. Some parts I have to patch, so I need a similar weight fabric. Luckily, I saved the scraps from other repairs and alterations, like when I cut the mitts off Tom's jerseys, or when I hem my pants, so part of my pants will become part of Logan's. I'll add the patch to the fly so that I'll have something to actually sew down. I only need a small piece. I'll base it in place first before I take it to the machine. That way I don't have to deal with too many pins. Now that the piece is whole again, I can start reassembling the fly. I spend a good amount of time sewing things by hand, just so that things are nice and aligned when I take it to the machine. The fly is now intact. The majority of the structural seams were intact. There were just some spots where the top stitching could use some reinforcing. Overall, I'm really surprised how well these pants held up. Below the knee, there is a hole where the fabric has worn, so I'll have to patch that, and I'll do that from the inside. I'll just use scrap from the piece of fabric I used earlier. I'll sew it from the inside so that it's invisible. The logo tab is actually my favorite thing about these pants, so I'd like to clean out all the Velcro as well as I can. And now these are my new favorite pants. They actually fit me.